Why would my father-in-law ban me from my wife's bed? My wife and I got married last summer. Her family lives across the country, and when they invited us to visit and stay with them for a few days, we accepted. We flew in yesterday and everything started off great. Her dad and I watched football. She caught up with her mom and sisters, and we had a nice dinner. Then it got weird. At the end of the night, it was made clear, bluntly, that I wasn't allowed to share a bed with my own wife while we were in their house. They expected me to sleep on the couch. I genuinely thought they were joking, but no, they were dead serious. I have a bad back, and sleeping on a couch for several nights wasn't going to be fun. But more than that, I was pissed at the implication that I couldn't be trusted to sleep next to my wife, the woman I married. We went back and forth about it, but they wouldn't budge, so I left. I told my wife she didn't have to come with me, and she chose to stay. I booked a room at a Marriott, got a good night's sleep, and tried not to let it eat at me. This morning, I called my wife to ask when I should come back. She told me her parents expected me to apologize for how I stormed out. I told her I'd be willing to apologize just to keep the peace, but only if they acknowledged that their demand wasn't appropriate. 10 minutes later, she calls back. Not only would they not apologize, they were doubling down. If I didn't agree to sleep on the couch for the rest of the visit, I wasn't welcome back in their house. I was livid. I told my wife there was zero chance I'd agree to that, and I was officially done offering any kind of apology. Then her sisters started messaging me. That's just how their dad is. Your wife is upset. Please just go along with it, or this turns into a family feud. Enough. I asked my wife and her sisters to meet me for dinner, away from the house. I asked if she knew her dad was going to lay down this rule. She said no. She was surprised too. I asked if they honestly thought this behavior was okay. They all admitted it wasn't, but their dad has a temper, and if I didn't give in, he'd spend the rest of the week making everyone miserable. Apparently that's why they wanted me to come back and apologize. Not because I did anything wrong, but because he was already throwing a fit about me disrespecting him. I told my wife I was disappointed she didn't have my back in this, especially when it was so obvious who was in the wrong. She went quiet. I told them all what I'd suspected. This wasn't about sleeping arrangements. This was about their dad trying to assert control, to show me who's boss. They agreed. That was my breaking point. I told them I was heading to San Diego for the rest of the week and booked a hotel near the beach. I also reserved a second room and invited all of them to come. They rarely get to go on trips, and I figured a mini vacation would beat sitting around their father's ticking time bomb of a temper. They hesitated at first, but eventually decided they'd come along and deal with the fallout later. Their dad was going to lose his mind when he found out, but I honestly didn't care anymore. I tried to be respectful. I tried to keep the peace, but I'm not letting someone humiliate me just to stroke their ego. Right now, I'm packing up to check out and hit the road for San Diego. My wife and her sisters are driving down separately once their parents leave for work. It's not how I imagined this trip would go, but honestly, I think this might end up being way better than we planned.